And hello all of my fellow nerds out there, this is Oracle Nerd Richie and welcome back to Tattoos and Tulips. Now, last we left off on chapter 3 and we're going to be continuing from where we left off. I begin to make my way to the Jade Palace, which is only a 5-minute walk down the road. It's the only restaurant B and I seem to eat at anymore. It has the most and the best vegetarian options. Maybe it's not the healthiest place to eat though, since most of their veggies are deep fried. Not that I'm complaining. But it's a cool place, although it was hell when I worked there, mainly because customers are way worse than food establishments. My coworkers and the owner were all awesome, so I like coming back just to see them when I can. At this time of day, a walk is the perfect way to unwind. The city seems to simmer down alongside the setting sun. Everyone is either returning home from work, eating dinner, or relaxing before bedtime. Well, most people my age might consider this to be a con, but for someone like me, it's one of the pros of living here. Once I'm in the parking lot, I pull my phone out and call Bia. I don't even bother going in and looking for her. I want to know exactly where she chose to sit. That way I don't look like some child that lost their mom at the mall. It's our usual routine, so our conversation is short. You hear? I can hear some noise in the background, so I know she's already inside and seated. For a Wednesday night, it seems pretty busy. Oh yeah, it is Waffle Fry Wednesday. Unlimited waffle fries for $6.99. Okay, you know what? That actually isn't that bad of a deal. Just you get as many waffle fries as you want, only for like $7. That's actually not that bad. I'm out in the parking lot. Alright, we're sitting in the third booth to the right. She hangs up and I walk inside. The place is packed more than usual, even though it's pretty popular most days. Oh yeah, she mentioned bringing a special friend. I wonder who they are. Guy or girl, tall or short? Who knows? B's type ranges so drastically, it truly could be anyone as long as they're cute. I think I have a feeling as to who it might be. I'm just taking a wild guess here, but we'll see in a bit. I follow her directions and spot her. And sat across from her is a large figure. I take a closer look as I approach. Wait, I've seen that tattoo sleeve somewhere. Is that the tattoo artist guy?
Huh?
Shay? Yep, I had a feeling. I really had a feeling it might have been him. Oh, why am I not surprised? Oh god, it is him. It takes everything in me not to turn on my heel and book it, but B spots me waving me over. Too late. Any hope I had of escaping was squashed in an instant. He greets me with a toothy grin on the corner of the booth. Chris, what's going on? B looks between him and me and has the nerve to ask. Oh, you guys know each other? Yeah, hardly. Did he say yeah? More like not even close. We met for the first time today, an hour ago, and barely spoke. How do you guys know each other? Wait, are they dating? Hold on, did I say I was making eyes with the guy she was dating? Holy... Oh no, I'm the worst friend on planet Earth. She sees me start to panic and stops me. Wait, we aren't dating, Chris. Shay and I have been friends for a long time. You have? How come I've never seen or heard of him before? I realize it's a dumb question. B doesn't give me a rundown on every friend she has. If she did, we'd never get back to our regular lives. How come you didn't tell me on the phone earlier? She thinks for a second. Remember what we talked about? I almost recite the conversation, but I remember Shay was still sitting there watching us. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Sorry. I try to salvage myself. He looks between us suspiciously. Should I give you guys a second? We'll talk about it later, Chris. Don't worry, Shay. It's not important. Just personal stuff. No problem, I think. B laughs it off. It's really cool that you guys are friends. I step into the booth on the opposite side of Shay and sit next to Bea. How am I just now finding out though that she's friends with him? She never talked about him before. Wait, that's not inherently a strange thing. It makes sense she wouldn't just come right out and tell me before today. But why not after I had brought him up? It's true if she said her special friend was a guy I was making eyes earlier, but definitely would not have come. But why'd she have to trick me? Now I'm stuck! My palms start to sweat and I shake my leg. I put my hand on my knee to try to control it, but it does little to help. I reach for the menu at the end of the table. Despite never needing one before, I always get the same thing. A large order of mozzarella sticks and a green smoothie. Bro, this guy freaking speaks to my food intentions. My god. Did the developer of this game somehow figure out that I liked mozzarella sticks and like green smoothies? Well, technically I don't really like green smoothies. I actually like the Naked brand of smoothies. There's like a brand of smoothies I know that's just called Naked. It's like one of those shake it, and it's like one of those bottles you have to shake and then you get the flavor out of it, like after shaking it thoroughly. It's just so good. Green Machine is just the best flavor. I scan through the pages as if the drinks and appetizers are the most captivating things I've ever read. B can tell my behavior is off, but is kind enough not to draw any attention to it. She's got some explaining to do once this is all said and done. So you're telling me you've been back, haven't eaten here? Her voice is dripping in disbelief. I can't blame her. It's a crime not to frequent going here. Well, not inside. I usually eat whatever my coworkers bring to the shop. I'm sure they've brought me food from here before. Oh, you'd know if they had. Chris and I were both servers here 2 years ago. That's how we first met. We both hated it. It has to be good if you choose to come back into a place you hated working at. That's a good point. If the food wasn't half as good as it is, I'd never show my face here again. So, if you guys say it's good, then color me excited. He rubs his hands together and I chuckle at that. The second I realized, I coughed to mask it. It wasn't even a good joke. Was it even a joke at all? When did I start laughing just to make things more comfortable? Or to make others feel more so? Maybe my hunger is making me loopy. That's the spirit. B cheers him on. He's so cute. Like, she's so cute. I love her. I couldn't ask for a better best friend. Aw. Actually, a better best friend would have told me the guy I was talking about was joining us for dinner, but I'm choosing to believe there is a good reason for it. She's always been a good friend to me, so I digress. For now. So, how did you guys first meet? B shoots me a look of surprise. I don't think it's a strange question, quite the opposite. In fact, it seems as if it's the elephant in the room. Who, Shay and I? She feigns ignorance. I squint at her. What kind of game is she playing? Is there something I shouldn't know? She doesn't say anything, just watches me watch B. It's silent for a moment. We've known each other for quite a while. She answers as vaguely as possible. We were friends in high school. Are you guys exes or something? B jumps up and waves her hand at me. No, not at all. And Shay shakes his head. B's great, but I'm gay. Oh, that's good to know. Wait, is it though? I want to ask more, but I don't want to out myself in the process. Instead, I stay patient and keep digging, asking little question after little question until she gives in. how come you never invited Shay out before? This one's a bit more risky. I could be talking out of my ass, but I don't know for a fact whether or not they've hung out before this or not. But I'm assuming B and I are close enough friends at this point that she would have mentioned having such an important friend at some point in our relationship. At least I would mention it to her. Now that I think about it, do I even know if Shay is that important a friend to her? Or did they know of each other in high school and were never really friends? Are you guys just acquaintances from school then? No, Shay's ex and I used to be friends. Shay seems to harden it to stone at the mention of his ex. So immediate, his entire face sinks and his eyes darken. I completely get it. Just the sheer mention of an ex seems to poison the atmosphere. B places her hand on his shoulder and mounts an apology, but he shrugs it off despite being so bothered by it before. Huh? Wonder what's going on there exactly. There's a story there, and I want to read it. Though maybe now's not a good time. It seems that if we mention his ex again, he might not be able to hold down his food. I want to give him some form of encouragement. Hold in there, guy. It'll all get better. I'm no expert on exes, even if I've had several at this point. But once you start living for yourself again, things will be better. I feel the words get caught in my throat. I want to tell him, but I can't bring myself to do it. I went to get another tattoo a couple months back. Just a tiny one in my ear, see? B shows me a tiny little swallow in her upper shell of her ear. She'd shown me before, but with as many friends as she has, she probably doesn't even remember who she did or didn't tell. I take a good look at it this time. It's cute. Even in such a small space, it's got a decent amount of detail and doesn't look muddy at all. I'm no tattoo expert, of course, but Shay did a hell of a job. Just from the little I've seen him do so far, I already know he's great at what he does. And while I was there, I noticed Shay not only works there, but also owns the place. This is news to me as well, but I'm not too surprised. I glance over at him and see what kind of smug expression he's going to make, but he doesn't flinch or try to further explain.
Huh?
That's odd. You'd think someone who would want to brag about owning their own shop, especially so young. So we got to talking and caught back up. He just took over the old tattoo shop. The one with the guy who always offers to give nipple piercings. I'm sorry, that's just too funny. What the hell? This is the first time he's coming back here since we graduated. Oh, that makes sense. Something still doesn't entirely sit well with me, but I decide that I'm going to let it go until the end of the excursion. Try to unwind from a stressful day, but as best as I can with some hot, gooey mozzarella sticks and a tall, delicious green smoothie. I sat down on my menu and while the two of them pick up theirs. B is one of those people who likes to get a new thing off the menu every time. Me, I am a creature of habit, so I tend to stick with the same comfortable set of things. What are you getting, Shay? He scans over for a moment longer. Does this encrusted tilapia have nuts in the breading? Yeah, it does. You might want to find something else. I cock an eye about that. I'm deathly allergic to peanuts. Oh, peanut allergies. Yeah, honestly, I think peanut allergies are probably one of the most common ones out there. Cause when I was in elementary school, or any school in general, they always have a table just specifically designed for people with a peanut allergy. And honestly, I actually never really got it until like years from then. Like Years from then, I didn't, like, back then I didn't get it. Nowadays, I get it. I actually understand. Restaurants can easily mess stuff up. If I were you, I wouldn't put my trust in some minimum wage job. Well, yeah, it's scary and you never really know, no matter how careful people claim to be, but that's why I carry my EPI pen with me everywhere. He smiles in such a way, it seems like he's trying to comfort me instead of himself. I decided to list it off whatever I think a guy like him would eat, being careful to not list off anything with any potential nut allergens. Whether it be a big burger or a big order of nachos or a country fried steak dinner, all of which he declines. I list off the last thing before I decide to give up. What about a chili dog? A vegetarian, so I don't eat it. But a lot of people seem to love it. His eyes light up at that. Bingo. Yeah, that sounds really good. Do you recommend it? Do you recommend you guys fries or onion rings? Think that over, and so does B. Tough choice, but I have to go with the onion rings. The waffle fries are on sale today. All you can eat. Oh no, I'm trying to stay in shape. He pats his stomach, or rather his abs, but I think back to them and start to feel hot. What am I, a teenage girl? They're just muscles, man, get it together. The waitress comes to take our order, and Shay does in fact order a chili dog with a side of onion rings. I order my food, and B orders herself some pork dumplings. Oh, I've never actually tried pork dumplings. Are they any good? Like, seriously, any of you in the comment section, tell me, are pork dumplings actually good? So how about you? So how do you know Chris? I'm startled by that. I wasn't expecting her to act like she didn't already know. But I'm thankful for it because I'm at least a little curious to hear his side. I don't know how it would be really different from mine, besides the lusting after him part. I cursed at how simplistic I am. All it takes is a cutie face and my head is gone. He practically didn't even think twice about it. I'm just the florist he was forced to interact with if he wanted to sketch in peace. Did I talk his ear off? Was I bothering him? Even if I had, I think he's too nice to admit it, especially in front of me. So I don't know what else to expect out of his answer, other than general kindness. I met him when I came to the Busy Bee a couple hours ago. Instant friends. Instant friends. Are we though? Friends, that is? What makes you friends with someone? I guess just getting along with someone can make you friends, right? At least by the general definition. Or am I thinking too much into it? To me, friends is an important title to give someone, but maybe he doesn't see it the same way. Doesn't have to think about it too much. That's awesome. Chris isn't great at making friends.
Huh?
Huh? She giggles. I throw a cardboard drink menu at her from the table. Why are you talking about me like I'm not here? Why? It's true. She's right, but she doesn't have to say it. We're friends. Oh, good point. I roll my eyes at her. Really? I didn't get that impression. You seem plenty friendly to me. So he says, but there's no sarcasm I can detect. Chris is charming in his own way. I loved him from the jump. I threatened to chuck another table item at her, but I'm interrupted by the sincerity. I wasn't expecting her to be all ooey gooey on me. I don't have time to comment on it though. Our food is arriving and I'm unable to hear his response. Oh, little chibi art! Oh, it's so cute! Oh, that's just the most adorable thing I've seen all game. Like, oh my god. But she has little dumplings, he has the mozzarella sticks with the marinara sauce, he's got his little chili dog. Oh, it's so adorable. Wait, they kind of look like gotcha characters. Gotcha life characters. I don't know why, but they do. Normally, I feel pretty bad about it, but no one look at fresh food wipes and that there's. But one look at fresh food wipes that feeling from existence. We don't spend too much time conversing since we're all too busy stuffing our faces.
Wow.
This place
is good.
Oh, it's voice acted.
I think this might be the best hot dog I've ever had.
Bee nods with pride as if she made it herself.
What'd I tell you? Jade Place is the best.
You guys actually want to know a little fun trivia about me? I actually live near a food place called the Jade Dragon or like the Jade Palace. I don't really remember. It has Jade in the name. I'm pretty sure it's the Jade Dragon. That's what it's called. I usually live near a place like that, and it's got really good food. I promise you, it's good. I nod.
You only got mozzarella sticks?
Only?
It just doesn't seem like a lot. Do you want some of my onion rings?
It's nice of them they offer, but I decline.
This is all I need.
Bee giggles at that.
He eats like a bird. A bird who loves fried cheese.
I shrug it off.
Saves you money, doesn't it?
Huh? Who said I was paying for this?
You invited me out.
She stops us both.
It's on me tonight.
I stop in my tracks. Man, I didn't even consider he was going to pay for it. Does that mean I'm indebted to him?
I mean, I can pay for mine. It's no big deal.
No, man, I insist.
He looks at me in the eye to prove his seriousness. It doesn't take much for me to surrender.
In that case...
Thanks. I shuffle my feet underneath the table, trying to keep myself from bumping my legs with his.
It's no problem at all. Eat up. Also, do you guys want dessert?
We did in fact want dessert. We all ended up splitting a large lava cake, and it was delicious. Oh, I haven't had lava cake in a long time. But now I feel like I can't move an inch, and I'm not alone. And my diet was going so well. It's a bit ridiculous for her to say so. She never really had a diet to begin with. No one really needs one. She should stop trying to force herself to stick to these diets she clearly doesn't want to follow. Why don't you just, I don't know, not diet if you hate it so much? You look good no matter what. Because, Chris, even if I hate it, I want to have lots of energy to keep doing things. These noodle arms aren't going to allow me to rock climb or anything really fun. I feel bad for discouraging her. That's a good point, actually. That does sound like a good reason. Shay nods. My diet is actually ruined, though. Now I have to avoid sugar for a whole month if I want calorically. Jeez, I've never seen that word before. Recover from this. I am a weak person. He says it as if he's made a terrible financial decision. Though I've never had a big defining muscle before, I imagine it's a lot of work to attain and maintain them. Health must be very important to him. Me too, but my diet doesn't keep me from eating delicious pastries. Between the two of us, who's the real winner here? Shay drags the bill off the table and struggles to get up out of his seat before slumping over to the front counter to pay. I'll meet you guys in the parking lot. Bea and I make our way into the cool night. Summer is on its way, and I try not to feel sad about it. I don't need a tan or to sweat half to death. I need healthy plants and to wear jeans without dying of heat stroke. It isn't long before Shay joins us outside. I feel our excursion coming to an end. It wasn't so bad, but that doesn't mean Bea is off the hook. I still got plenty of questions to ask her when Shay isn't around. Thanks again, Shay. That was awesome. We ought to do this more often. What? Have me pay for dinner? He chuckles. She elbows him in the ribs and pretends like it hurt, and he pretends like it hurts. I did have fun though. We should get together again. They look at me and I freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah. B snickers at me, and I want to kick her. Why does she keep embarrassing me? How about we go somewhere tomorrow? You're off tomorrow, right, Chris? Yeah, Granny works on Thursdays. The shop isn't too busy then. Shay? I don't open the shop until 4, so if we do something in the morning, I'm more than free. What are you thinking, B? I want to go to the city park. Shay shrugs. Sounds good to me. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Cool, so I was thinking we can have a picnic and go for a little hike. Does anyone want to bring stuff to eat? He looks hungry again. How is that even possible? We literally just ate. I'm sure I can pick up some stuff from the store. I'm not the best cook in the world or anything, but everyone likes chips and baked beans, right? Oh, I can just buy something instead of cooking. Yeah, you don't have to make anything. We can't all be chefs like Chris here. I puff up with pride when she says that. If enjoying cooking and trying to get better at it makes me a chef, then I guess I am one. Shay rubs his stomach. I look forward to it. I didn't meet his now hungry gaze. Don't tell me you're still hungry, we just ate. Again, she's on the same wavelength as me. What? I have a fast metabolism. I might hit the gym on the way home and eat something before bed. It's already 8 p.m. He's thinking about going to the gym? Is that insanity or dedication? I don't know. Oh, I just remembered. I get to wear my brand new shoes. She starts spinning around like a little girl in a princess dress. I think I need to think about what I'm going to wear. What time are we meeting again? B thinks for a moment. 10 a.m. Sound good for everyone? I nod, and Shay gives her a thumbs up. Then it's settled. Alright, I'm heading out. I had a lot of fun tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. Good night, Shay. I miss you already. Good night, beautiful. Good night, Chris. I was taken aback, and could only choke out a miserable night. That's all he needs to hear before he jogs off. Wait, does that mean he jogged all the way here too? We watch him as he goes for a moment before looking back at each other. She giggles, which makes me do the same. Curse her. I'm supposed to be serious right now. I have to ask her what the hell this is all about. Okay, so I'm sure you have questions. She easily reads my mind. Why did you invite him after what we talked about? Chris, I know you well. I knew you'd avoid coming altogether if I said I was inviting him. Hell, you nearly tried to sprint out the door when you saw him. You said you didn't plan on acting on your feelings, so I figured this is as good of a time as any to make a new friend. She has a point, so I find it very hard to combat her. I don't want to have a relationship with him, and I don't want to make friends. Plus, he's a good friend of mine. This is the first time being out and about in a while. I can't really go into personal stuff, but I think he also needs every friend he can get. You two seem to get along. I mean, if you honestly don't like him, you don't have to keep hanging out with him. But by everything you said it on the phone earlier, you seem to enjoy his company. I mean, it's hard to dislike the guy. I don't know if that makes us friends or anything, but maybe acquaintances isn't so bad. Yeah, he's fine. B rolls her eyes. You don't have to love him or anything, but he does seem to like you at the very least. I feel my head turn to static at that. You know what I mean. It's like I said, he's a really nice guy. Anyways, I've got to get back home. Feel free to text to text me, but I'll see you in the morning, right? I nod. Good. Love ya. She gives me a hug. Thanks, B. Love you too. She rubs my back before letting go. It's nothing. Get some rest. I go home and do just that. Chapter 4. Oopsie daisy. It's spring again. I can hear the birds sing again. See the flowers start to bud. See young people fall in love. Blue balls. I wake up before my alarm goes off. I'm relieved that I don't have to hear its grating sound. I shut it off and slipped into my shower. When I'm out, wrapped in a towel, I spend approximately too much time deciding on what I want to wear. What do you wear to a park anyway? I decided on something and slip it on. Oh! That's actually not that bad of an outfit. It looks really cool. Then I started packing for a picnic and a hike. Since those were the things B mentioned, what B says always goes. I know that much. A blanket, some bug spray, an extra pair of socks, and of course some food. Oh! Oh, she looks good too! Okay, I really like all the different outfits that... I like it when visual novels do this, right? Like, they put the characters in different outfits and not keep them in the same exact one. Like, that's something I can really respect when it comes to making visual novels. Anywho, I arrive at exactly 10 a.m. Usually I'm the early one, so I'm surprised to see B here before me, sitting right in front of the park sign. She's in the cutest dress I've ever seen. Okay, maybe that isn't true. B constantly pulls off the most show-stopping pieces, time and time again. She notices me staring and does a little curtsy. Isn't it gorgeous? I got it for 40% off. This might be the best job I've ever had. Well, minus literally everything else about it. She spins and kicks up her feet with equally cute sandals. Those are so nice too. Don't tell me you got those just for this outfit. Maybe? How do you have any room left in your closet? Lots and lots of stacking. Also, this shoe organizer I got at a yard sale. Though I am quickly running out of room. I have got to get a place of my own. You will. You didn't want to invite your roommates out here? Zoe is too busy with her new beau and working. And Rain, are you kidding? Sun, walking, sweating. I don't want to torture them. The thought of a goth hiking is a funny one, I'll admit, but I like them far too much to subject them to this. Besides, we agreed it would just be us. It would seem rude to just invite 3 other people. B is already on the next subject. What made you so late, huh? I can feel my face fall immediately as I look at her with a cocked head. I'm not even late. I can still leave, you know. Don't be like that. I'm just messing with you. I snicker at how quickly she folds. I was so excited, I woke up 3 hours ago. Really? I don't see why she would. It's just a park. He always gets excited when food's involved, but this is different. The only difference between all the times we hung out and now are... Oh! In the corner of my eye, a certain tattooed man comes into view, loosely jogging his way over to us, waving a whole way and sporting a huge smile. Okay, again, I really love the different outfits that each character gets throughout the story. Like, I love it when visual novels do this. I need to see more of this, please. Hey, you two. I hope you guys weren't waiting too long. I catch eyes with Shay, his deep brown skin more akin to disc flowers inside of a sunflower. Threatening to suck me in. He's next to B in a bright button-up shirt, but in his case, it's a button down because he's got maybe three buttons, He's got an entire window into his chest. I try not to look. I think I hate attractive people now. I never know how to act around them. Not only that, but he's so infectiously happy. How does he manage to do that? Hi. I greet back pathetically. You look great, Shay. I love that shirt on you. And Chris, you of course look great, but I'm sure you don't need me to tell you. What is that supposed to mean? Okay, so I just want to explain myself. If you guys don't know, the reason why I laugh at the phrase "what's that supposed to mean" is because it's like an inside joke between me and my friends. Like we're all fans of Ruby, and like the one phrase that Weiss always says is "what's that supposed to mean." It's like her catchphrase or something. And every time we hear it, we hear it in another game, we just laugh because it's just that funny. It means you're big-headed. I roll my eyes. Takes one to know one. You guys look great too. That shirt is cool, and it's a graphic tee for flower shop, right? Is it only for employees? He points to mine, and I point at myself stupidly. He thinks I look great? I feel my own head swelling. Perhaps he's just being polite, but still, it does feel good to hear. Yeah. Damn. Oh, it's sick. Maybe we should make shirts in my shop. Oh, I want one. If I ever get around to it, I'll get you both one. My treat. Oh! He lifts up the gym bag he has in his hand. I brought some fruits and veggies and granola bars. I figured B brought plenty of junk food already. Aw, you know me so well. Yep, I got brownies, cookies, cheese orbs, the works. Are cheese orbs an actual thing? I actually want to know, are cheese orbs a thing? It's good that I brought actual food then. I also brought drinks, some freshly squeezed lemonade, and I made Granny's special recipe. Did you guys bring drinks too? That sounds awesome. I brought some liters of soda. Diet? Of course, though I don't know how you can drink something with such an awful aftertaste. Oh come on, diet soda isn't that bad, guys. It's not that bad. You don't even taste it if that's all you drink. But that's good. I also brought some water bottles. I had to try some of that lemonade though. My granny's lemonade is a personal favorite of mine. I brought it in part just to show it off. I feel my head swelling again. Maybe B had a point. B looks around as we stand in the park entrance. It's fairly crowded considering how early it is. I can hear children squealing in the distance and I cringe at the sound. I didn't think this through as much as I should have. You couldn't have picked a more perfect day, huh? She looks up at the sky, a bright blue with a couple of dots of clouds. Well, the sun's shining brightly overhead, a gentle breeze. It's really nice. Spring is the best season for a reason. That rhymed. Too bad it was quickly coming to an end. For sure, I really should start jogging here instead of down the main roads. This is the prettiest it'll be all year. I want to listen to the singing of birds and the wind rustling through the streets, but I hear more screeching and the repeated scolding from parents. It would be even better if there weren't a bunch of kids running around. They're just having fun, Chris. Jeez. You're not a fan of kids? I immediately put on the spot. I'm not some child-eating monster or anything. I just don't like lots of noise, or boogers, or sticky candy, or not at all. Not other people's. If I had my own, I'd like them just fine. Any reason why? Oh god, I hate defending myself to people I barely know. They like to mess with Chris's floral arrangements and his little garden. She's not wrong, that's a big part of it, but I don't know why she feels the need to call it a little garden. My interests just don't align with the interests of snot-nosed toddlers. Maybe it's not the kids I have a problem with, but rather their neglectful parents. I can see kids can't really be held accountable for being little gross mini-humans. Kids do tend to be pretty destructive. I'm not around very many, so I can't say I'm a huge fan either. Though when I was younger, I used to take care of my little brother and sister, but it was hell sometimes. Oh, tell me about it. I have 7 younger siblings. Not 7, 6. I have 6 younger siblings. I am the oldest of 7. I know how it feels. I'm surprised to hear that. It makes me feel a bit better. He wasn't criticizing me, just curious, I guess. Honestly, I'm too young to even think about how I feel about kids. Just the thought makes me want to take a nap. But I do think they're very cute. Sometimes when I see a baby in the store, I want to cry. Is your biological clock not ticking? You're 24 already, and you've got hips for it. The hips for it. Okay, fun little fact, a biological clock is just something that humans made up. It's not a real thing. Like, you can technically have kids whenever, as soon as you hit the age of maturity. As soon as you hit the age of maturity, you're just good to have kids at any point. Well, specifically, like, if you're like, I don't know, I recommend you be like, I honestly would agree with my dad on this one. Like, it's best if you're like 25 when you have kids, because at that point you'd have your life together at that point. You'd probably have your life together, most of the time. But even then, we're all still human. We're all still trying our best out in life, you know? So, yeah, any way you do your life, it'll probably work out in the end. I asked the question mainly to tease her and get back at her for that little garden comment earlier. It definitely is not. Just be lucky you don't have pesky hormones making you think you want to reproduce all the time. And you wish you had 3 babies. You had these babies. She grips her hips and sways. She laughs at her spat before speaking. I want to be a dad someday. I think I want to be an older dad, though, like 50 or something. Too much stuff to get done, and a lot harder to do when you have a whole other person to take care of. Don't you think that's a little odd? You want to see your kids grow up, don't you? Well, I will, but I plan to live till I'm 100. So I'm trying to be as healthy as humanly possible. Actually, me too. It's part of the reason why I'm a vegetarian. Well, you guys are on the right track, but I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Bee's life is far more exciting than mine by comparison. I could definitely take a page out of her book. I'm going out with friends, traveling, wearing the nicest clothes, eating whatever and however much she wants, despite her saying she's improving her diet of mostly junk food. What about you, Chris? You want to be a parent someday? I have no idea. I always plan on starting a family, but I prefer to raise a kid with someone. Not that there is anything against being a single parent, but I don't think I could do it alone. I was raised by a single mother, and I turned out just fine, but she did struggle a bit, so I get what you mean. Your mom is the best. I miss her. How are your brother and sister, by the way? I think leaving them all was the hardest part of moving. I mean, I'm happy I did. I love it here so far. It's helped me a lot. As for the twins, they're good. They're in college now. Crazy to think about it, honestly. I'd be pretty sad if I was away from my granny. I mean, my parents are traveling and my big sister lives an hour away, so I get how you feel. I miss my dad, but he's always busy with some work-related thing. He's overseas as we speak. Your mom, well, she's so focused on her wedding, I haven't heard much from her at all. I personally like being away from parents, though I really felt like I grew closer to them when I moved out. Yeah, I heard that's a thing. I really enjoy living alone, I will say. I agree. Living alone is the best. So jealous. I have 3 roommates. Wait, you have 3 roommates? That's right, you don't know. Yeah, I live with Rain, my friend from college. They also work at the mall I work at. Zoe, my old manager at the J place, and Zoe's new boyfriend, who is technically a roommate now. I love them all, but it would be so cool. It would be so cool just to walk around naked every once in a while, you know? Oh yeah, that's the best. I'm taking it back. Pardon? You walk around your place naked? Don't you? No? Hell no. Dang, Chris, live a little for me if nothing else. But what if someone sees me? Who cares? I care. We talk as we pick a spot to sit and manage to get a spot that's under a large tree, grazing us equal parts of sun and shade. Alright, well, I think I will leave this part here for now, guys. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a